Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It is the Almighty Geoff and we're here with episode 50 of Assassin's Creed 3. In the previous episode, we wrapped up the main story by assassinating Charles Lee at long last, and Connor quite ceremoniously removed the hatchet that he planted in one of the pillars outside of Achilles' mansion, or manor I should say, and wrapped that up and left the amulet in the grave of Connor Davenport, who was Achilles' son who had died before, well, between Hatham and Connor's time. And in the present day, Desmond had to sacrifice his life to stop the solar flare from destroying the Earth and, in the process, unleash Juno on the world. So, obviously, the consequences of that decision we'll see in future games, because we're not going to return to the present. Now, I have done several things off-screen, trying to go through all of them in my head. First of all, there were a couple of crafting items that I'd unlocked. It said right at the end of the sequence, do crafting items. So I built all those. There were just a couple of saddlebags that I had that were added on new. So I did those. We have, I've picked up all the remaining convoys. So it took us up to 10 of those. Just because of how long it took to try and get to them, I'm not going to get a convoy on screen, so I decided to get all 10 rather than all 9, but I will show you the way of how I did it. I picked up all the pivot points, which, if you're not aware, is what unlocks at the very end of the game. It's basically how you unlock the cheats, but it also gets you an achievement as well. But basically, you start off with 3 pivot points, I think, and it sort of triangulates the zone. It'll tell you like which area of the map's been found in either Boston, the Frontier, or New York, and they unlock every like 10 minutes or something. And if you place them, it'll like condense into like a green area to show the area of where the actual pivot is, and then you just gradually close it until you can find it. And then you, with more pivots, obviously it makes it a bit easier as it goes along. It's hard to explain. It's probably better to watch online if you're interested. But because it's random, like there's no set location, it just depends on where other people find them online. It just wasn't worth putting in. And the last thing that I've done is I have finished off the assassin recruit missions because I realised that it just would have taken too long. So let me just show you the synopsis of the last 2 in Virginia. So in the Saboteur, the Siege of Yorktown is underway. Infiltrate and sabotage the British fortifications as best as you can to ensure Cornwallis's surrender with as few casualties as possible, and then save in Savannah. Savannah is under Templar control. Do you want to do what you can to weaken their position? And that's it. I didn't get any special reward for finishing it off, but that's all done now. So what we have left, first of all, we're going to talk to Washington, because this is the last challenge in the second set of Frontiersman challenges. So without further ado, let's get started.
Connor, Commander, it's good to see you.
You have what you set out for. What will you do with it?
A fair question. But if truth be told, I do not know. Men with far greater minds than mine will build this country's foundations. A task I am simply not equipped for. Have you played bocce before? I'm really growing quite fond of it. I think I'll have a green built at Mount Vernon when I return.
All that death and sacrifice, and you mean to leave the important tasks to better men while you play games? I might have expected it.
Connor!
Whether you think you are capable or worthy of the task, after the things you have done to ensure this outcome, you should not have the luxury of peace.
Ooh. No, I didn't want to do that. Would have been quite ironic if he goes into a tantrum about him playing games and then just goes ahead and plays the game with him anyway. But there you go, that's that conversation. Washington's been rightly told. And that's the challenges finally done. So as you can just see, all the challenges come from the left hand side. I've basically done all of them. The only one I think we haven't done is to visit all the taverns. We're just going through it now, which is okay because that's the one I want to get done today anyway. I visit every tavern in the Frontier, New York and Boston. I think I have them all discovered. But yeah, that's it. So there we go. So we've got one over here. Let's head out to that just to show you. So those are all the challenges. So visit every tavern, which should also mean we get to meet up with our assassins once again. This is just a pivot thing. Obviously, they all disappear once you've found all 10 of them, but it just says that I'm synchronized with the cloud. Yeah, so that's all there is to it. So all we've got left is these last Frontiersman challenges, which I'm going to show you. we'll go through the epilogue. This isn't necessarily the order that we're going to be doing it, but we're going to go through the epilogue missions. I think there are 2 or 3 maybe, I'm not too sure. I'll show you the convoy route that I took, and then we'll return to the homestead and we'll do like one last look through all the trophies that we picked up. We should have all of them by then. Okay, so we've got some recruits in here, hopefully. Okay, well, we've got 2 of our New York ones, so that's cool. So let's have a word with, this is Jacob, is it not? Let's just have a look. I can't remember. Yeah, oh no, that's Jamie. That's Jacob. Alright, never mind. Alright, well, let's have a chat with Jamie.
Thirsty, I take it?
What's wrong with taking a draft or 2 when the time's right?
Nothing, Jamie. Nothing.
Then why don't you join me then?
Not right now. Maybe later.
I suppose you got important business to attend to. I understand. Don't worry about me, though. I can handle my boost. If you need me, I'll be there, Connor. Hey, Connor.
Taking it easy today?
Things got a little out of hand the last time you saw me. Keeping an even keel.
Good. Where are you from?
Here. Born and raised, but I'm a mutt, if that's what you're really asking. Think I even got a little of the Far East in my blood. That's what my father said, wherever that bastard got off to.
What about your mother?
She's down south. Haven't seen her in 5 years or so. She works on a plantation, keeping care of the slaves. Slaves. That's why I left. Can't support that business. Owning a human isn't something any man should do. She doesn't agree, so I leave her to it. I make my life up here now. I'm an assassin. This is my family.
Oh, that's admirable. Jamie, very admirable. Jacob, how are you doing, buddy?
Ah, Connor! Sit.
How are you, Jacob?
Missing the beer gardens back home, but I'm well.
How did you arrive in the colonies?
Like most other men like me, the army. I was a Hessian for a time. It was a good job while I had it. I only felt it was time for something different once I arrived. Not long after, I'm meeting you, so it seems my feeling was useful, no?
Certainly.
I am hoping to send for my family when the time is right. But we are fighting a war of our own, and I will not put them at risk.
Hopefully, things will die down soon.
No rush, Connor. I am in their hearts, and they are in mine. I received a letter from home.
What news?
My son is the strongest boy in our village, standing tall and proud. My heart grows heavy for them now, and my patience wanes for bringing them across the ocean. I have sent money for passage, war or no war.
We will keep them safe from the fighting when they arrive.
I'm having no doubts about this. My worry is now the crossing itself. Many miles overland to a port in France. There they must be purchasing safe passage aboard a ship coming to the colonies. Then they must brave the voyage itself. Many risks.
Your son can lead them. You said yourself he is strong and capable.
My son? Ha! No matter how strong he grows, he will never be as strong as my wife. Wilhelmina is the most able person I've ever met. Else I would not have left them. It is more matters of fortune that trouble me. Storms, pirates.
These are things none can control. But I am sure if pirates try and take their ship, Wilhelmina and your boy will make the brigands rue their decision.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Okay, cool. That's them dealt with, so obviously we just need to chat with Dobby now, wherever she might be. I've heard that our Boston recruits might end up turning up in some of these pubs as well, but Obviously, we've already had the conversation with those. We're going to visit all the ones in New York and all the ones on the frontier. We've been to all the ones in Boston, so I'm not going to bother. And those are just the ones that are marked with the assassination symbol. But yeah, so it's not too big a deal with those ones. So we'll keep out of Boston unless one of the epilogue missions takes us there, which I don't think it does. But we'll see. There's no one here. Okay, cool. That's fine. So I'm into that one. I'm into this one. So we'll head up to this one next. So I know there are 5 in New York, 4 in Boston, and I think 3 or 4 in the Frontier. Can't quite remember which one of those it is. So it's not too big a deal if you've done the thorough exploration, which obviously you must have done to get the first 3 challenges, which is to uncover most of Boston, New York, and the Frontier. I think you only need about 90% of the map uncovered for that to be counted. Obviously not the whole thing, that would be outrageous and something even I've given up on. At first I was like, right, I'm going to make sure that I've got like every pixel uncovered on every map, but I'm just like, there's just no point, it's just impossible. Yeah, no one here either. No problem. Okay, we've got 2 more to come from Dobby. You better show up in one of these. She will do. She'll be somewhere. I'm sure of it. So yeah, this will be the last episode in the main Assassin's Creed storyline. Assassin's Creed 3 storyline, I should say. So through this main game, and then obviously we're going to spend probably about 6 episodes or so in the Tyranny of King Washington. Ah, there she is. And then we'll be moving on to Liberation. So, hey Dobbs.
How'd you do, Connor?
I am all right. And you?
It's nice to be a part of something. Until now, I was sort of drifting about the neighborhood, getting irate when I saw things I thought unjust. Sometimes I'd intervene, other times I would come here. Now, I feel like all my energy's pointed at something.
I am grateful to have your help. How did you come to be you?
Funny question, but I get your meaning. I was an orphan. Pretty common around the ports with all the sailors and whores mucking about. I wanted to be out on my own, so I did what I had to do. That's when I decided to pretend to be a boy. That worked for a time, until nature decided otherwise and it just became a bad joke. Folks around the borough still called me Dobby, but the old codgers started leering and getting fresh. That's when I got tough. Took a good many shots to the face before I learned to defend myself properly. But now I dare any man to come at me. They learn their price quick.
Hello, Dobby.
Connor, you look well.
I have been better.
Do you ever sleep? I really don't know how you do it.
I try not to think about it.
A strong man. Stronger than any I've ever met. How is it a man like you has no wife?
I do not have the time to give a woman what she deserves. Perhaps when all this is over, I will be able to settle and have a family. I hope.
Of all the lecherous and deceitful men out there who have fathers, you'd be a godsend. But I suppose that's how it is. The good ones are too busy for it, and the louts have nothing better to do. In any case, if you ever think it's time, make sure I get the first crack.
I promise.
Oh, alright then. Dobby and Connor. I think they're, okay, it's never confirmed in any of the games who Connor ends up with. I know Connor does end up with a child at some point. I think through one of the expanded medias it's proven. But I've heard, well, obviously I've never really heard anything about him getting with Dobby. Although that's what's inferred there. But I have heard things about him getting with Ellen, who was the tailor on the Homestead. But alright, there we go. That is all of the taverns in New York done. So whilst we are here, let's head on down. So probably could have done it the other way around and at least done a bit quicker. We'll head up here and do the epilogue mission just so that we're done with New York. So these obviously they don't count to 100% these, I don't believe. So it's not, obviously it's not replayable either. It's not a mission of sorts. But it just adds a bit of context towards the end of the game, so we'll go through them. And then we'll head to the frontier after this. That'll be just basically where everything can get wrapped up, and then finish off at the Homestead. We'll do one last look through. There seems to be a thing with the weapons down there, because I was like looking down there when it comes to like we've definitely got all the outfits, I know that for certain, because there's only like one pole empty, and that's where Connor's current outfit goes, in case you exchange it. But some of the weapon stacks are a bit empty, but I've heard like a lot of people have problems with that. But we'll get to that in due time. So let's have a look at Evacuation Day.
America has no need for your services, back to Britain in a box. Death to the oppressor! Cut them down!
Yep. Doesn't seem that America is quite as free as it pretends to be. Slavery's still going on that. Okay, right, so let us return to the frontier. So we'll just set a marker for over here. Then we'll just expand our way outwards. So no, I think there's one in Lexington, one in Concord, one in Monmouth, I think, I'm not too sure. Yes, there's one down there, one here, one here. Yeah, that makes sense then. So just to quickly go over the pathway to getting the convoy to almost always trigger. Start at this Harbour Master, and then make your way over to this building here. So just like run straight across to go there. You have to come here, and then cross the river and come to this pathway here. And around this area where my marker is here, is where the convoy should spawn in. Now it doesn't always do it. It happened like definitely like once every 2 tries. Like it almost happened. Not if I can speak. Take a second. It spawned in almost every time I came there. Sometimes it didn't. It might have just been because I was too quick and it didn't had time to spawn in again after I'd taken it out. But it does work. So you can get all your places from there. Whew, see, I can form sentences sometimes. Oh, go away. That's also the convoy I used when we were doing the West Point missions, and it was to kill a snitch. The one in the yellow jacket at the back was the snitch. So basically just constantly respawning at that fast travel point was the best way to get in that one. In case you're interested, though. You might have been able to tell, I'm not sure. Okay. Let's head to this one down here. We'll know we'll have done it once we get credit for the challenge. But I've heard conflicting reports between either 3 or 4 in the frontier. But we would have been able to see them all if there were 4, so I'm pretty sure that it is 3. But like I said, we know we're all the ones in Boston now, because it's where all the liberation targets are. We've been to them in the past. We've just never been to these ones, I don't think. Okay, it's that one. And then last but not least, we have this one over here in Concord, this one, or Lexington, one of the 2. Lexington. Alright, right outside the pub as well, cool. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, oh, unless we have to visit them again. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Let's visit all the ones in Boston again, just in case. But I don't know. I thought. I don't know. It's been weird. That's definitely all of them, though. I know for a fact that we've definitely visited all the ones in Boston before, because there's 3 of them. There's where Stefan, Duncan, and Clipper were hanging out in, and the other one is where we had one of the treasure chests. So we've definitely been to these before. So I just don't know if it resets it and you've got to visit them all again in order to get towards the challenge. Maybe. Who knows? I hope it is anyway. Otherwise I'm screwed. Okay. So to this one over here. These are all quite close to the fast travel points from now on. Just throwing a bit of a spanner in the works, I won't lie. But it is what it is. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they always have like a challenge that you'd have to restart just in case. Obviously you'd already done all the challenges, so you can't just advance straight through like a whole challenge set or something. I don't know. I don't know the logic behind this. I'm just hoping that I've not screwed it up and I'm missing one somewhere. Ideally I'd like to get all this recording done in one take, rather than spend ages trying to wrap something up. Okay. What are we doing time-wise? Still got 8 minutes. Should be fine, that I think. If this goes right, that is. Okay. And last but not least, the one up here. Okay, fingers crossed, everybody. Have your fingers crossed. I don't see you crossing your fingers. Oh my god, what's going on there? Right, well, I guess I'm doing a quick cut. I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay guys, I found that last one. It is actually in the frontier, and it was actually on the map. Just some completely oversaw it for some reason. But it's just down here, so it's near the one in Lexington. It's just a little bit to the southeast. So let's head to this one. But apparently you do have to go to all of them again anyway, from a comment that I saw. And there we go, completionist. Because we finally got 100% completion in Assassin's Creed 3. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, now that's done. Now we can quickly fast travel over here to finish off the epilogue, and then we'll head back to the Homestead. So yeah, so we would have had to go back to Boston to view those anyway, so it's not like I've wasted any time really. Other than what I'm going to have to edit, but it's only one small edit. Alright, let's wrap up with Canataseton. That's the name of the place, isn't it? Whatever.
If you're hungry, I've extra.
No, thank you. Where is everyone?
Gone west. Been a while since they left. Seems some fella from New York was granted the land by Congress.
What?
Seeing it happen more and more. Government says they don't take land that's already owned, but
How could this have happened?
we're on our own now. No more merry English parts and labour, which means we gotta go at it ourselves. Gotta pay for it too. Selling land is quick and easy, not quite so nasty as taxes. And since some say they're what started the old war, ain't no rush to bring 'em back. Clever men, these new leaders of ours. They know not to push it just yet. Too soon for taxes. Too British.
Thank you.
Be safe.
And there we go. That's the Finn achievement for finishing off the epilogue. So yeah, once again, it's just been proven that not quite so free as they make it out to be. Okay, so let's head back to the homestead. We'll check out our collections one last time. So we wrap things up. I don't know if I've got any new items I need to sell off yet from those recruit missions, but I'll see to that if I need to. So we'll check out upstairs first, I think, and then finish off downstairs where our story began, sort of. So this is the invention room. This is where all the Benjamin Franklin's inventions go when you craft them. So there's the kite and key. So I won't bother going through these descriptions because we already saw them as part of the database whenever we did them. So there's the electrostatic generator and the Joseph Presley soda apparatus. Alright. Okay. Weird. That's the Benjamin Franklin photo for the photo painting for finishing sequence 12. In here we've got the orrery, the busybody, and the Leyden jar. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. There should be 2 more in the form of the glass harmonica, and finally the Watt steam engine. So there we go. There's all those. That's isn't it? Oh no, that's the Encyclopedia of the Common Man. That one. We check out this room. We have the tea chest from the complete the Boston Tea Party. We have the first expedition for complete the first expedition mission. I think that's just the first time you go out with Faulkner back in sequence 5. So we've got our shelf of trophies here. So we've got Hunting Society for finishing the Hunting Society, Thieves Club finishing the Thieves Club, Art of Conversation for having all ambient conversations. You don't actually need to have all the ambient conversations. We've got like really soon onto the homestead. All the side stories, finishing the Boston Brawlers, finishing the Frontiersman, attacking 10 convoys, fully upgrading the Aquila. We have this flag for reaching 100% completion, getting everyone to Master Assassin, fully upgrading the homestead, exploring all of New York, exploring all of Boston, exploring all of the for finishing the Captain Kidd's treasure missions, exploring all of the frontier, and for liberating all forts. Hang on, on the bottom isn't anything, is it? No, it's not. Okay. We have this Join or Die one for completely liberating Boston. Some of these must be quite old. That's also for completing all the Captain Kidd's ones. So we've got 2 treasures for that one. 2 trophies, should say. Completing all the privateer memories. Complete the Battle of Chesapeake. So it's obviously story related. Killing Benjamin Church, again story related. Liberating New York. Completing another one for completing all the privateer missions, and that's it for this room. Okay, should have enough time to cover everything, it looks. Right, well, this one's pretty big. So this is for getting all the hunting targets. So obviously, sorry, didn't read them, did I? So we've got the bear, the wolf, the deer, the cougar, the elk, and the bobcat. Very nice. So we've got this for infiltrating Church's compound. This is after CO died. It's not like me view any of the other ones. I guess those are the other ones that I had. Can't really interact with a lot of these. Okay, fair enough. And in this room, it's also quite a bit of stuff. So this is all the... This is just the Animus database. We'll obviously go through that at the end of the episode. Those are the newspapers, which obviously we've already gone through in the database. Might not be anything you can interact with in here, you know. Thought there were, but maybe not. Oh, this is where all the almanacs go once you finish them. So again, we've finished all these already in the database. Okay, very cool. That's everything upstairs done. Now just to check out the downstairs, which is basically just our outfits and weapons we've picked over the game. Oh, there we pass there. Wait. Oh, it's just the candelabra passing through the wall. I was wondering that. I was like, do you interact with like the herbs on the wall or something? That's weird. Didn't know that. Alright, let's wrap this up. So we have our outfits. Obviously, like I said, that first pull is for where Connor's outfit goes if he decides to change clothes and anything. We've got Altair's outfit. We'll go through Altair's outfit for completing. Of course, the controller's going mad again. Complete all the main missions, like get 100% sync across the main story. That's just for, I think you get that after Achilles dies. Do you do the legacy mission? Complete sequence 6. Again, for completing Cats and Kids treasures. The extra outfits from Uplay, finishing all the feathers. That's after sequence 8. And that's after sequence 6 as well. Okay. Obviously, you burned all the portraits of all the Templars, but here are all of the mementos. So we get them from Church, from Johnson, from Hatham, from Charles Lee, from Pitcairn, from Hickey, and from Biddle. And here's all our weapons. So, in case you're interested in what we've picked up, the stone dagger, the iron dagger. Hang on, missed one there. So we got stone tomahawk, stone dagger, iron dagger, the war tomahawk, the dirk, the iron tomahawk, and the snares, the rope darts. Okay, this one. We've got the Hessian axe, the French naval axe, the naval axe, the pirate boarding axe, and the boarding axe. Here, we've got the gunstock war club. Hang on. Yeah, sorry. Gunstock war club, wooden war club, the stonehead war club, the Upwandiags War Club, and the Iron Blade War Club. I can't interact with these ones, these are just swords. So as you can see, there's notable gaps, but there's nothing to fill them with, like I checked. So we've got the French Cutlass, the normal sword, the Lincoln Sword Replica, the Couture Sword, the Officer's Sword, the Light Cavalry Sabre, the French Rapier, Captain Kidd's Sword-Tooth Cutlass, the Hanger Sword. Oh, I guess one of these would go for the Washington's sword. Obviously, I've got that on me. So, the French Colt pistol, the Duckfoot pistol, the double-barrel pistol, the Pitcairn Putnam pistols, the Italian flintlock, the Royal Navy Sea Service flintlock, the Pirate flintlock, the Scottish flintlock, the English flintlock pistol, the flintlock pistol, and the naval Duckfoot. All right, so. There we go. So aside from a couple of weapons that I have on me, there still would have been gaps anyway, but that's fine. Unfortunately, you can't just put all your weapons back on the shelf. Let's go through our database one last time. So we've got Charles Lee. So that's at the very end, didn't we? Let's just see. How does this go? Okay. So let's pause and read if you're interested. Battle of Trenton. Great Fire of New York. I thought this happened before the end of the game. I don't know why we're just getting it now. Evacuation Day. And the Treaty of Paris. Okay, there we go. And then if we look in our DNA tracker, 100% finally. Today we have done, well, we should go over the end of the last ones as well, so obviously it's time for Charles Lee to die. That was from last time. Clubs, so Frontiersman membership 100%, complete the Frontiersman test 100%. Very good. That's it, isn't it? That's all we had to do. Very good. So that is where we're going to end it for today, and that is going to be the end of Assassin's Creed 3, at least the main story. In the next episode, we will be starting up the first part of the Tyranny of King Washington. It will all be included within the Assassin's Creed 3 playlist. That's why this isn't marked as the finale. I expect we'll probably spend about 2 episodes on every chapter, so about 6 in total, maybe. I'm not too sure about that in advance. I know I'm going to do most of it off screen, so it's basically just going to be, I think there's one sort of collectible, which there are 3, and then that's a little bit of a cutscene, and then just the main missions really, and I'll show one example of each collectible sort of I'll be doing off screen. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and also be sure to share the video. I'll see you guys in episode 51. Bye guys.